Selamat petang. Kami berdiri di sini bukan beri berita terkini, tetapi berjumpa sekali lagi untuk mencerita pengalaman kami. It is heartening and exciting to see so many of you. It is more heartening and more exciting to know that many of you have come from far away, the north, the south, and the east. You know, there are a number of distributors who are living just next road, just behind the WTC, and you ask them to come, they say it's too far away. They say they have no time. I think anybody who is doing the Amway business will know that this is a common excuse. But some of you have come from very far away, and that speaks volumes about your commitment in this business. Let's give them a big hand. We are very happy to be here today, but I can see that all of you are very happy too. In fact, Amway is a very happy business. All Amway functions and Amway activities are all happy occasions. And I think that if anybody who is feeling very depressed, who is feeling worn out after a hard day's work, should come to an Amway function. I can assure you that whatever you feel, however you felt before you came here, by the time you leave here, you feel much happier, much motivated, much inspired, whether you do Amway or not. And that's the beauty of the Amway business. We are here today because it's our turn. When I say our turn, it means we Amway people take turns. It's our turn today. It will be your turn next month, or next year, or 5 years from now, but it will be your turn. I'll now pass on to my wife to say a few words.
Thank you. Terima kasih. 谢谢. Nandri. So I would like to introduce someone to all of you tonight who more than 14 and a half years ago objected me from doing the Amway business. And tonight, she is here to witness us receiving our executive diamond pin, and she is none other than my beloved mother. Chen, mother. Well, she now truly understands Amway is a good business, and she supports us all the way. Well, I could feel the excitement over here. You must be excited. Are you excited? Yes, we are excited too. We are very happy and honored to see so many of you here tonight from near and far, especially Mr. Sunny Ho, Executive Diamond from Penang. He has to postpone his overseas trip just to come and congratulate us personally. And I know there are a lot of you who have to apply leave just to come here, like distributors from Alostar, Penang, Terengganu, Malacca, Kuantan, Johor, and many states. We have received so many cards and flowers, and in fact, just now, I received quite a few bouquets of flowers, and one of them is from Double Diamond Chang Kun Tin. You only see this sort of thing happening in the Amway world. It really, all of you have touched our hearts. 11 years ago, we were up on stage to receive our diamond pin. Tonight, we are here to receive our executive diamond pin. Well, what happened? What took us so long to reach the next level? Well, we were on comfort zone, that's why. We were enjoying ourselves, going overseas twice a year, all expenses paid by Amway. Because of Amway, we have been places where we have never dreamt of going, like the Alaskan cruise, the Acapulco, and many countries. We have been to Hawaii 7 times. Since we became Diamond, Siew was able to play golf 4 to 5 times a week, and I was able to resign from my job and swim every 2 days. We have been too comfortable and complacent. So, after a while, we decided we should put in some work and build the Amway business. There was no pressure from any quarters for us to move up. We decide when to move up. In fact, we didn't know that we have qualified as executive diamond. Sounds funny, isn't it? That's right. Early this year, I remembered Maria Liu. You know who is Maria Liu? She is one of the assistant manager of Amway Malaysia. She is the one who keeps track of your qualifications, so you must know who she is. She asked me whether we could be executive diamond this fiscal year. I told her, not this fiscal year, but maybe the next fiscal year. We will miss the Orient Express, but never mind, the executive diamond is there all the time. She thought I was pulling her leg. Early June this year, she phoned me and congratulated us for having qualified as executive diamond. I thought she was pulling my leg. You see, we know we have 8 legs, but we didn't know of the 9th leg. The 9th leg was in Thailand, and he has been sleeping for many years and decided to wake up after a deep sleep. Well, it's a pleasant surprise, and here we are as executive diamond. But I promise you, we won't take another 11 years to reach the next level. I have been a nursing sister for almost 15 years. I love my job, but I had no freedom. I am in no position to decide to move up to the next level, even though I wanted to. My future was in the hands of the board of management. In Amway, we decide how far we want to go, we work hard, and we go for it. In Amway, we are our own boss. We decide how far we want to go, and we work hard and go for it. In Amway business, there is no time frame. In any business, we need a lot of customers to be profitable. In Amway business, we need to have as few as 20 customers a month. All we need to do is to service them regularly. The beauty of the Amway business is there is no boundaries. We could sponsor people all over Malaysia and many parts and in 50 countries and territories where Amway is operating. In fact, our Amway business has penetrated to many countries. Because of the Amway business, we have a lot of friends and business associates all over Malaysia and many parts of the world. This is possible because of the concept of Amway. At this point, I would like to thank Amway Malaysia, Mr. Alice Chung, Lau Han Ki, and the able staff for the support to us and our organization. Thank you. We would also like to thank all our leaders in our organization for the teamwork, especially Diamond Direct Alan Tay, Diamond Direct Lee Kim Soon, Bonnie So, Lee Yong Hock, Lee Gon Fu, Kevin Lim, Kong Heng Fat, Tan Wong Fat, Yo Didi, Wong Hoi Kiet, Sunny Po, Andrew Chong, Wong Kam Wing, Jordan Kaur, Uy Yim Tiam, Teo Yi Hua, S.W. Law, Cheong Kui Fat, Sam Choi Kwan, Stephen Woon, Lau Ing Chong, Stephen Ang, Sunny Ang, and many leaders which will take a lot of my time to mention their names and their spouses. What a fantastic team we have. Let's give them an applause. We would also like to thank the Executive Diamonds and Diamonds for working with us and our organization. They are Executive Diamond, Mr. Sunny Ho, Executive Diamond, Chan Li Xian, Executive Diamond, M.K. Kong, Executive Diamond, Peter Lee, Diamond Direct Tajwin, Diamond Direct Albert Chiu, and Diamond Direct Stephen Lim. Well, decision is part and parcel of life, to be or not to be. It is making the right decision that opens the path of success. I remembered way back in 1979, my husband and I were deciding whether to be an Amway distributor or not. I didn't want to be an Amway distributor because I do not know and like to sell things. I only know and like to look after sick people, and that's the only thing I'm good at. On top of it, we just don't have the time. I was holding a full-time job, and our children were 1 year old, 2 years, and 3 years old then. And Siew Fang used to leave the house at 7:30 in the morning and come home at almost 10 p.m. at night. Where on earth we have the time? We just don't have the time to do anything else for that matter. So my husband was saying, well, the Amway business looks good, but we wonder whether it's as good as it sounds. What happens if it is good and we didn't try the business? We will have a lot to lose, the potential loss. What if it's not true? No big deal, only $53 then. $53 was not enough to take your friends out for a good meal. Because of that, we thought we had a good try at the Amway business. The more we try the business, the more we see the result. Because why we want to try, when we say we try the business, we really give it a good try. I'm sure you see a lot of distributors, when they sign up, they say, yes, I will try the business. But when we say we try the business, we really give it a good try. And when we say we give it a good try, we had all our action plan laid out and reorganized our activities. We want to know whether the plan works, so we have to put in the work in order to work the plan. The more we work, the more excited we become. The more excited we become, the more results we see. The more results we see, the more we see the plan work. There is no question now whether the plan will work. The plan has worked for 35 years and in 55 countries and territories. It has worked in Malaysia for 17 years. It is not a question whether the plan will work. It is more important that you work the plan. It is important that you come out on stage and receive the pin like what you have just witnessed tonight. Come up yourself to receive the silver pin, the gold pin, Didi, ruby, pearl, diamond, and even executive diamond. If we can do it, so can you. Looking at us, you might think our journey to executive diamond is smooth sailing all the way. I can tell you, we also have our share of frustration and challenges like any one of you. But the difference is we persisted in the Amway business. I have not heard of any success without hard work and challenges. Have you? Good. So the more challenges you have, the sweeter is our success. As Cantonese says, "Yik fu yik tim ah, lu ko de lu tin ah, lagi lebih pahit lagi lebih manis." If you want to be successful in the Amway business, you must set your momentum. It is like just pumping water from the well. Before the water comes out from the well, it's very light and easy. As you keep pumping, the water from the well is going to come up through the pipe. As it comes up, it's getting heavier and heavier, tougher and tougher. And you feel tired. You said, well, I want to have a rest, so you let go. When you let go, the water that was coming up from the pipe will go back to the well. And you start pumping again, take a rest, pump again, and take a rest. I can assure you, you can keep on pumping, doing like that for 1 month, and no water will come out. If only you have just given it one more hard push, and water will come out, and you will have water all the time. Keep working at the business and stick to it, no matter what challenges you have to overcome. It is if you keep on at it, and I can assure you, success will be yours. While you climb the ladder of success, you will also see a lot of personal development in yourself which money cannot buy. I would now like to say a few words in Bahasa Malaysia. Apa khabar? Saya cuba bercakap dalam bahasa Malaysia. Saya tak pandai bercakap dalam bahasa, tetapi saya berani cuba bercakap dalam bahasa. Saya tahu, kalau saya bercakap salah, semua Amway distributor akan ketawa dengan saya, bukan ketawa pada sama. Tak sama, ya? Laugh with me and not at me. Kalau mau sukses di bisnes Amway, Anda itu Amway bisnes yang sangat besar dan bagus. Kalau mau berjaya di bisnes Amway, Anda mesti belajar mengatasi cabaran. Kalau mau mengatasi cabaran, Anda mesti menghadiri meeting. Kalau ada cabaran, jangan simpan sendiri. Anda mesti cepat membiar sponsor Anda dan Didi tahu. So, oleh itu dia sama ada itu dia boleh bantu Anda. Saya sekarang mau bercerita sedikit. Cerita ini ialah tentang seorang orang tua yang pandai dan seorang budak yang kecil. Orang budak ini sedang pegang seekor burung. Orang budak ini tanya orang tua itu, "Pakcik yang pandai, Anda fikir burung di belakang saya hidup atau mati? Orang tua itu menjawab, kalau saya bercakap, burung ini hidup, Anda akan pegang kuat sampai burung itu mati. Kalau saya berkata, burung ini mati, Anda akan melepaskan burung ini. Begitu juga Amway Business di tangan Anda. Sebab nyawa burung itu di tangan budak itu, begitu bisnes Amway Anda di tangan Anda. Sama ada Anda mau berjaya atau tidak, ialah pilihan Anda. So, terima kasih dan see you at the top.
In the audience here tonight, there are different types of people. Just like in any Amway rally, there are distributors who are active, there are sleeping distributors, there are prospects, and so on. But I'm sure tonight, just for tonight, there is a special group of people here. And these people have come to see who is the doctor doing the Amway business. In the minds of these people, I am sure they say either this business is really a very special or very fantastic business, or this doctor is a bit crazy. Tonight you are going to hear us tell you that this is a very good business. And we have been telling people for years that this is a very good business. But from experience, we know that when we tell people this is a very good business, they will go home, then they start asking their brother, their auntie, their grandmother, their neighbor, their office colleague, and they will all tell them that this is a bad business. This is a very difficult business. So if you are one of these, I would like to give you some advice. If you don't want to believe me, please don't believe them. You have to be fair to yourself. The best way to find out whether this business is good or not is to come in and do the business. That was the situation we were in June 1979. When someone told us about this business, we were very skeptical. He was telling us how good this business is, all the good benefits, all the good money, and so on. I was very skeptical. Because in life, you know, if there is anything good, you keep to yourself, you don't tell others. But there was one big thing about what he told us, and that was that this business has no risk. Why won't you have a try? And that's what we did. We just tried. And when we tried, we really tried. We tried very hard. We worked every day. And the more we tried, the more convinced we were that this is a really very good business. And this is in spite of all the challenges we went through the first few months of the business. Some of you might think, oh, very easy for him. He's a doctor. Yeah, he can sponsor all his patients. Let me tell you that there are many, many disadvantages for a doctor in this business. People come to see a doctor because they are sick. They want to get well. And if you start talking to them about the Amway business, especially if you start spraying here and there and take 2 glasses of water and soak here, there, you say, what kind of doctor is that? So we went through more challenges than you would have expected. In fact, in the 3rd month of our business, I personally presented the sales and marketing plan, personally, one at a time, to 20 people. And every one of them said no. How many have you gone through? In fact, you think that is a record. I read about a dentist in the United States who went through the same thing, but he went through 56 times before he sponsored someone. And while the 56 people said no to him, his dental clinic burned down. But he still kept on, and today he is a diamond. So in the 3rd month of our business, I personally spoke to 20 people, one at a time, and every one of them rejected me. I could have dropped this business. I could have quit. I could have said that this business is not for me. It's so difficult. Talk until my mouth goes dry. And nobody wants to do. What do you think I am? I'm a big doctor, you know. And you don't want to follow me. Right? I'm sure you all understand that. But we did not quit. And because we did not quit, we are standing here today. We did not quit. That was in the month of August 1979. You thought that an early bird catches the worm. We were one of the early birds, if you want to say so. Actually, we were not, but we did not catch the worm. We did not sponsor any month in that August, but we kept on. Because on September the 2nd, which is a Sunday, you can look at the calendar, because we held a meeting and we sponsored somebody who later became an emerald. And that man is Bonnie Saw, he's sitting down here. There are many examples like that. We just give you one example. We just want to tell you that there are challenges in Amway. We also have our share of challenges. It will be too long, it will be too boring maybe to tell you all the challenges. Some are so tough. I read about a dentist in the United States who went through the same thing, but he went through 56 times before he sponsored someone. And while the 56 people said no to him, his dental clinic burned down. But he still kept on, and today he is a diamond. So in the 3rd month of our business, I personally spoke to 20 people, one at a time, and every one of them rejected me. I could have dropped this business. I could have quit. I could have said that this business is not for me. It's so difficult. Talk until my mouth goes dry. And nobody wants to do. What do you think I am? I'm a big doctor, you know. And you don't want to follow me. Right? I'm sure you all understand that. But we did not quit. And because we did not quit, we are standing here today. We did not quit. That was in the month of August 1979. You thought that an early bird catches the worm. We were one of the early birds, if you want to say so. Actually, we were not, but we did not catch the worm. We did not sponsor any month in that August, but we kept on. Because on September the 2nd, which is a Sunday, you can look at the calendar, because we held a meeting and we sponsored somebody who later became an emerald. And that man is Bonnie Saw, he's sitting down here. There are many examples like that. We just give you one example. We just want to tell you that there are challenges in Amway. We also have our share of challenges. It will be too long, it will be too boring maybe to tell you all the challenges. Some are so tough. I can tell you it can bring tears to your eyes. But maybe if we meet another day at an informal function, maybe I can tell you more. So we work very hard. In June 1979, starting, we worked very hard. From the third week of the business, we started to have our own meetings. We knew that this is our own business. You want to move ahead, you do what you can. You do not rely on your upline to motivate you. If your upline can motivate you, well and good. If not, you go ahead. From the third week of our business, we held the meetings by ourselves. Sometimes our upline came, sometimes he did not. Doesn't matter. We went on. We worked very hard. After 7 months, we qualified Didi and Ruby at the same month. After 1 year, we achieved Pearl. After 2 years, Emerald. And after 3 years, we achieved Diamond. The road to Diamond involved a lot of hard work. It was 3 years of very hard work. No television, no entertainment. We just built and built and built. And if you want to achieve Diamond in 3 years, you can also. All you have to do is no TV, no entertainment. Just build and build and build. And as diamonds, we began to see the big money. As diamonds, we began to see the beautiful benefits of the Amway business. We started to have all those beautiful trips. As you heard just now, we went 7 times to Hawaii, to different islands, by the way, not the same place. We went on an Alaskan cruise, a cruise along the coast of Canada to Alaska. We went to Acapulco, Mexico. These are only the few examples of some of the most famous holiday resort areas in the world. That's where Amway sends you when you achieve Diamond and above. And next month, we'll be in Switzerland on the Orient Express. I can tell you that if not for Amway, we will not be making those trips. There are many doctors who are successful in their own right. There are many professional people, engineers, accountants, professors, and so on. They have the money. But I can tell you that they don't have the time. And they can go on these trips on their own if they want. But I can tell you, even with their money, they will not want to go on these trips because they have to pay their own. They cannot see them spending $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 on one trip. And then you get this kind of trip 2 times, maybe 3 times a year as an Amway Executive Diamond. Maybe it was all these beautiful benefits, these beautiful trips that we were enjoying, the comfort we were having, that we became rather lazy. We were relatively inactive in this business. We flew across the Pacific so many times. We flew in the 747 jumbo jet across the Pacific. Every time we flew across the Pacific, it was a long trip. Anywhere between 8 hours to 12 hours of flying. And with such a long trip, usually you tend to sleep. And we slept most of the time in the plane. But there was one couple who was with us on those trips. This couple saw us sleeping in the plane, but they also knew that we were sleeping in our Amway business. So they started to disturb our sleep. Every time they will wake us up, and they say, you know, you are Crown Ambassador material. You can do it. You must move up the next level. Hardly opening our eyes, yeah, and you sleep again. But they kept on doing this. They kept waking, disturbing our sleep, not knowing that they were also disturbing our MOA sleep. And I will not forget this couple. All these years motivating us, telling us success stories about other people, giving us information about the MOA business. And this couple is none other than Executive Diamond, Sunny and Guat Ho. Give them a big hand. Many of you know that we are doing this business part-time. We are still doing the business part-time. We tell you that we are doing this business part-time because many of you are doing this business part-time. And we stand before you as an example that if you do part-time, you can still achieve the level of Executive Diamond or above. At the beginning, I was in my clinic. I used to leave my house at 7:30 a.m. And by the time I get home, it's around 10:30 p.m. And still, I was able to attend the meetings. I made a point to attend all the meetings my sponsor was holding, even though I was late. Because I knew that if I want to move up in this business, I have to learn. And the only way to learn is to attend meetings. And if you want to move up in this business, you have to learn and you have to attend meetings. It doesn't matter where you are right now. You can be uneducated or you can be very educated. You can be a poor man. You can be a rich man. You can be a man of no experience, or you can be a man of tremendous experience. You can be already a successful businessman in your own right. But I can tell you, you still have to learn, and you still have to attend meetings, and that is the way to move up in the MOA business. I love my work as a doctor. I love treating sick people. That's why I continue to be a doctor. I continue to treat people. I get satisfaction out of treating people, making them well. That's why I continue. But I also get a lot of satisfaction helping other people succeed in this MOA business. I know that many people do not want to do this business, and the excuse they give is no time. They are too busy. Some of you may be here today, some may be not. But I can tell you that those people who have no time in this business should ask yourself this question. If you have no time today, will you have time in 5 years' time? Will you have time in 10 years' time? My guess that if you have no time today, in 10 years' time, you still have no time. And when are you going to find the time? The answer is obvious. If you want more free time for yourself, if you want more free time for your family, if you want more free time to do the things you want, do the MOA business. All you have to do is just look around you. Malaysia or other countries, people who have qualified diamonds many years ago, after qualifying diamonds, they want to relax. And they are really relaxing. Even here in Malaysia, there are a few diamonds who have chosen to relax, and they are relaxing. They go on trips, they go shopping, they don't have to work very much. They have a lot of free time. And if you want free time, you can be like them too. As a doctor, I see many sick people in my clinic. But one of the things that strikes me these days is that there are many people holding 2 jobs. I know people are holding 2 jobs because when they ask MC or the medical certificate from me to take medical leave, they always ask me to issue 2. I say, why 2? He say, one is for my daytime company and one is for nighttime company. And when I tell them, if you are going to get sick like that, you should be fair to the company and shouldn't hold 2 jobs. Then they will be very angry. They say, you don't understand. I need the money. I have to hold the 2 jobs. There are many people out there holding 2 jobs. There are many people out there who need more money. Even though our living standard has gone up, we can see our economy is growing. The living standard has gone up, but the cost of living has gone up higher. And the cost of living has gone up faster than your income. So much so that these days people hold 2 jobs. Husband and wives also work. And they leave their children to others to look after. And most of them will tell you that they have no choice. But to me, they have a choice. And that is the Amway business. This also brings up the question of a second income. I think it is very important for a person to have a second income. Many of you here and many people in this world, they have only one income. And they rely everything on that income. Sometimes it never crosses their mind that if anything happens to that income, what are they going to do? The 2 jobs I gave you just now is an example. But a better example would be the Malaysian experience a few years ago. Do you know that between 1985 and 1988, Malaysia was in a recession? Many people lost their jobs. Many companies closed down. And the people who lost their jobs include executives who have been in a company 20 years, 25 years. These people are already doing well in the company. They're already earning $5,000 to $10,000 a month. They were already enjoying the comforts of the company, like a chauffeured car, bonuses, overseas trips. But then, recession came. When recession came, the company has no mercy. Their profits come first, and they start laying off people. When they laid off people, even those executives were laid off. And suddenly they found that their $5,000 to $10,000 a month had disappeared. Their chauffeur-driven car disappeared. Their overseas trip disappeared. But that may not be important. More important is that when a person is in his 40s, it is the time that he needs a lot of money. Many people around that age, even though they are executives, they are still paying for their house, monthly repayment. They are still paying for the luxury car, whether it's a Volvo or a Mercedes. They are still paying, which is more important, for the education of their children. And at that age, many of the children are just going to universities. How do you like to have children who are all ready to go to university and you get laid off from your job, you get fired, and suddenly you found that you don't have your monthly $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and then you tell a child, sorry son, or sorry daughter, I just got fired from my job, forget about university, go and look for a job. That's what happened during recession. That's what happened to a lot of professional people who left the country. We met them overseas, and they are still there. And we told them, Malaysia is doing very well now. Why won't you come back? They said, we are used to this place now. We left because we were not able to get a job. We left because we were fired from our job. We got to cari makan. So we went to another country. But you can learn from that lesson. Malaysia is doing well now. We hope Malaysia will still do well for the next 50 years. But I think it is very wise to have a second income, regardless how you do now. Whether you're earning $500 a month now or earning $50,000 a month now. I think it is a good idea to get a second source of income. When I say a second source of income, I don't mean a second job. A second job is similar to the first income. And when something happens, where it happens to both your income. And when we think of a second income, maybe we should think of a business. When we talk about business, of course, conventional business, carries a lot of risk. It involves high capital, takes a lot of experience, and you have to put in a lot of time, most of which is inconvenient to you. Many people, I'm sure, have been exposed to many lines of businesses. Your friend will come and tell you, I have a way of making money. But they don't tell you, this is also a way of losing money. That's what happened to a lot of businesses. If you want a business that has a turnover of $1 million or more a month, I'm sure you have to put in $100,000 or $200,000 at least as capital, which means borrowing from the bank, which means under the mercy of the bank, which means sleepless nights, which means more stress, which means more biopsy, of course. But today, if you are still not convinced, you can tell your friend that it is important to have a second income. And Amway is the best way to have a second income. There's no risk, there's no high capital, there is no sleepless nights, there is no stress, and you do it at your own time, at your own pace, however fast you go, however slow you want it, it's up to you. It is a business, but at the beginning it might look small. Many of you may earn only $50 the first few months, $50 per month the first few months, or a few $100 per month the first few months. And some people, when they get like that, they get impatient. But Amway is a long-term business. You have got to look far. You have got to look way ahead. The first few months, you are just laying the groundwork of your business. But while you are building this business, you realize that after many years, your second income may become your main income, and your main income will become an unlimited income. And while you are building a business to a level of unlimited income, you are also building a business that has many, many, many special features. It's too long for me to list down all the features, but just let me tell you a few. The products we use have been very friendly to the environment. We talk about the environment the last few years. Children are encouraged to grow more trees, to be green, to take old newspapers, to recycle. Every morning you hear the radio say, recycle, recycle, recycle. Do you hear this only the last few years? Amway has been doing that for 35 years. So much so, Amway has won an award from the United Nations. Amway won the United Nations Environment Award a few years ago. One of the very few companies in the world that was awarded this award. So if you want to keep environment clean, you want to leave a better world for your children, a cleaner world, use Amway products. Better, do the Amway business. This business is also inflation-proof. If you understand this business, as the cost of living goes up, our income goes up with the cost of living. You don't have to worry about it. People who have been doing this business many years, sometimes they are inactive in this business, but they see their checks every time increasing. Every time it is increasing, and they are not increasing their work. So as inflation goes up, your income goes up. This business is recession-proof. In Malaysia, between 1985 to 1998, when many companies are closing down, some companies are just surviving, but many were just closing down, having a lot of problems. Amway was still growing. And at the present time, there is very bad recession in certain countries. Australia, United States, Canada, New Zealand, even Japan. They are going through recession right now. But Amway in those countries, especially Australia and the US, are still growing, and they are growing very, very well, even in the face of recession. This is a worldwide business. This is an international business. It is in more than 50 countries and territories. You know what that means. Today, a person who signed up as an Amway distributor for 68 ringgit, he has distribution rights in more than 50 countries and territories. If you don't realize it, I hope you realize it now, because that is very important. You just look at another business. Let's say you're selling shoes, and you want to go to another country. Do you know what it involves? It involves a lot of money, like millions of dollars. It involves talking to the government. It involves getting certain agreements going, contracts going. It involves exporting those things, transporting those things, putting insurance on those things. It involves setting up offices in all these countries. It involves a lot of money and a lot of work. And all you did was sign a form, get a starter kit, and pay $68. You have better distribution rights in more than 50 countries and territories. You all know that Amway is going to open in China very soon. We don't know the exact date, but we expect it to be about 1.5 or 2 years from now. China is a very big market. Everybody gets excited over China. Even the conventional people, thousands and thousands of businessmen from all over the world, from Taiwan, from Japan, from Hong Kong, from United States, Canada, Singapore, and Malaysia, all flew to China and talked to the Chinese government. They want to set up factories, they want to build houses, they want to do this, they want to do that. But those are people who have big money, who have millions. You want to build houses in China, it involves millions. You want to build factories in China, it involves millions. You want to send your product, your shoes, or your baju, or whatever you want to sell in China, it involves you a lot of millions of dollars to go there. But you can have a business in China for 68 ringgit. Sometimes you don't even have to go to these countries to build an international business. Sometimes you don't even know that your business has spread to all these countries. Some people, they don't even know. They have never even set foot out of Malaysia. But their business have gone international. Of course, some Amway leaders took an active part. They're still taking an active part. They go to other countries and build an Amway business. We have done that also. We have now a very big international business. In so many countries, I think it will take too long for me to tell you all. But our organization in the international scene is so big. We have an executive diamond in Thailand, an executive diamond in Taiwan, and a few other diamonds which you can't even keep track of. Sometimes we meet new diamonds in the Diamond Forum, and they walk up to us, you say, I am in your organization. I say, I don't even know that. For $68, you get an international business which you don't even know. And that's the beauty of an Amway business. While some Amway leaders go to other countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Taiwan, Korea, and other countries to build their Amway business and to build it faster, all the Malaysian distributors benefit. And this is another beauty. These people go and build their business there actively, personally. But even though you did not go there, you also benefit. And you should give a big hand to all those people who went there. And while you are building a business just for a second income, just to back up your income, you are also building a legacy. A legacy in Amway has very much been spoken of. Many leaders have spoken about this aspect of the Amway business, but I think very few people understand. I hope I can clarify it a little bit more tonight. You know, family businesses all over the world are very common. When a family builds a business, they want to keep it within the family. All races, all countries, there are many family businesses. But do you know, it is very rare to find a successful family business that has gone longer than 3 generations. Most family business, when the father passed to the son, may still be good, but usually the son will start mismanaging. If the son doesn't mismanage, it is the grandson who mismanage. By the time it reaches the grandson, it is gone. In a foreign country nearby, there was a man. At the age of 27, he built a big business. He worked very hard. He started a car assembly plant. And he was doing so well. He started to have a lot of factories all over the country doing car assembly. And was the biggest car company in that country. And he was doing so well, he diversified into banking. And he was still doing well. He also did well in banking and became one of the biggest banks in that country with branches all over the country, a well-known name. By the time he reached his 60s, the names of his company were very well established. He was a very rich man, very successful man. But he felt that he was a bit too old, so he started to pass the business to his 2 sons. One son looked after the car assembly plants. One son looked after the banks. But the son who looked after the banks mismanaged the whole thing. And within a few years, all the banks collapsed. And the government of that country insisted that this company pay back to all their customers, all the depositors, the money they owed, whether they have money or not. And this man had no choice, but started to sell off his shares in the car assembly business. And by the time he sold off the shares to pay the customers, he lost control of the company. A business, a very successful business, he had built in 30 years. It took 30 years for him to build that business, and he lost that business within a few years and within 1 generation. Other examples you can find in this country. There was a man who also started with nothing, with absolutely nothing in this country, Malaysia. After 25 to 30 years, he owned shopping complexes. He owned hotels. He was very rich. He was very successful. A few years ago, during recession, trouble began. People started manipulating shares, and people started to take away his shares. Even though he had a family to help him look after the business, another company bought up his shares, and he lost control of the company. After 1 generation, a multi-million-dollar company lost to another person. I'm telling you this is that such successful family business, such strong family business can be lost. When you build your Amway business, when you continue to build it strong, build it big. Once you build your Amway business, it is forever yours. It's forever your family. Nobody can take that business away from you. Even if your son want to mismanage it, even people want to manipulate the shares, people think they're very smart, want to make you sign agreement and all kinds of things, and give you a few whiskeys and start asking you to do this and do that. They cannot take away your Amway business. It is forever yours. You pass it to your sons, to your children, and you pass it to your grandchildren, and you pass it to your great-grandchildren. Which means you can have this business even when you are old. I look around here, Many of you are very young, maybe only in your 20s. But let's face the facts of life. By the year 2020, we all be old. Maybe some will be older than others like me. But all of you will be old and gray. Wawasan 2020 is the vision of the government. Malaysia has set a goal for the nation that is very good. We have a goal to achieve. We have a goal for Malaysia. We have a nation's goal. But the question is, what is your goal? We were told that by the year 2020, we want to be a developed nation. And a developed nation means what? A developed nation means that you have a very good income, you have a comfortable life, you have time to spend your money, you have time to enjoy your life. That is what we mean by developed nation. You ask yourself, how are you going to achieve that? When you talk about old people, I can tell you that many old people in this country need help. They need help. That's why Amway Malaysia has campaigns, has projects to help the old people. Let's give them a big hand. Many of you are very young. You might not think of that. You say it's too far away. What for think of that? I just want to think about today. I just want to think about tomorrow. Why think about when you're old? I see old people very often, every week, every month. And some of these old people are very badly treated. Very badly treated, even by their own children. I have seen old people being shouted at in public by their own son, just because they cannot get down from the car fast enough. Because they are too old, they have pain in their legs, they are too weak, and their son will shout at them to get down from the car faster because they have no time. Everybody is rushing, rushing, rushing. You don't want to be in that position when you're old. You don't want to depend on others, whether your children or society or even Amway. You depend on yourself. And the best way to do that is through Amway. I now say a few words in Mandarin. 各位朋友，大家好。我的华语不是很流利的，所以如果我讲错了，你就不要紧啊。你们可以原谅我啊，但是你要笑可以笑，但是你要笑大大声，不要偷笑。我是一个医生，你们问你们自己，我做一个医生，为什么我要做这个 MV 的生意？一个医生的生活是差不多，一个医生赚的钱也是差不多，为什么我要做这个 MV 的生意？你们问你自己。如果你们不明白，如果你们不知道，我希望你们参加这个生意，慢慢可以明白，慢慢可以知道。我们的 MV 的生意好像一棵榴莲树，你们喜欢吃榴莲吗？榴莲树小的时候，年轻的时候，我们要照顾，好好来，很多的工作，很多的麻烦，太多晒阳，那棵树不能活；太少晒阳，也是不能活；太多水不能活，太少水也不能活，要刚刚好。可是还有很多的虫子可以造坏那棵树，我们也要放那个药水打死那个虫子，我们也要放那个肥料给它长大， 好好来。很多的工作，很多的困难，但是榴莲树的工作，榴莲树的困难是5年罢了。过5年了，那个榴莲树长大了。1年过1年，我们可以得到榴莲的水果，每年可以得到。你不用照顾那棵榴莲树，你也得到。你也得到，你的孩子也得到，你的孙子也得到，一代传一代，永远是你的，别人不能拿去。你发展一个Amway的生意，永远是你的。这个也是说，5年的工作，5年的困难，得到100年的水果，100年的好处。So my friends, don't wait till you need more money. Don't wait till you are old or sick. Don't wait till recession comes. Don't wait till you lose your job. Don't wait till inflation swallows you up. Just don't wait. Come join us. Join us and inspire the poor to be rich. Join us and inspire the rich to be more caring. Join us and inspire the young to be more compassionate. Join us and inspire the old to be more tolerant. Join us and inspire the timid to be more courageous. Join us and inspire the downtrodden to be more positive. And together, we shall tread the snow-capped mountains of Alaska. Together, we shall walk the beaches of Hawaii. Together, we shall shop with the rich and famous. Together, we shall help others to live quality lives. Kami berdiri di sini pada hari yang indah ini. Sudah habis cerita kami. Terus buat Amway tiap-tiap hari. Jumpa lagi.